New York Times with a wonderful story about Republican strategy in terms of the ads that they are running in different close races for the Senate. And there are plenty of those. And they talk about how there is a clear anti-immigration line running through a lot of the states, but not all of the states. So here's where it gets interesting. First, here's what they're doing in some of the states like New Hampshire. New Hampshire is one of the smallest populations of illegal immigrants, the New York Times explains. Only about 5% of its 1.3 million residents are foreign-born, and 3% are Hispanic. But tune into the Senate race between Scott P. Brown, the Republican, and Jeanne Shaheen, the Democratic incumbent, and you might think that the state shares a border with Mexico, not Canada. All right, I already love this, because they're like, oh my God, they're coming over the border. People are looking at the Canadian border. Who's coming over? Oh, it's the Mexican border. Thousands of miles away. Okay, New Hampshire, everybody be scared the immigrants are coming. Okay. Now, why all the focus and why now? Well, let's explain here. Much of the harsh talk on immigration today may have to do with the simple math. In the states that Republicans need to win to retake the Senate, Hispanics are a sliver of the electorate. Nationally, they make up 11% of eligible voters. But in the 8 states with close Senate races, fewer than 5% of eligible voters are Latino, according to a new Pew Research report. So they're running the anti-immigration ads in the states where it is least relevant. That's interesting. Why are they doing that? Because they don't care about the actual issue. All they want to do is scare you, because they feel that if they scare you and they tell you, look away from our donors. Did the banks crash the economy and cost a lot of your family's jobs? No, it was the goddamn immigrants. You look around New Hampshire and Arkansas and you're like, well, what immigrants? What are you talking about, right? No, it's the immigrants that are taking your jobs. Well, they're going to make it very clear here. This is very interesting. Colorado is the only state with a competitive Senate race where Hispanics make up a significant share of the electorate, 14%. As a result, Republicans there have steered clear of making immigration policy an issue. Instead, the Republican-leaning U.S. Chamber of Commerce is running ads in Spanish in Colorado featuring Jeb Bush, the former Florida governor and possible 2016 presidential candidate. So in the one state where immigration might be a real issue, among the tight Senate races this year, they're actually not running an anti-immigrant campaign. They're running a pro-immigrant, pro-Latino campaign. Why? Because they want to trick the Latino voters into thinking that they're pro-immigration. Gee, I wonder if one party is slightly more devious and slightly more truth challenged than the other party. Okay, I mean, look at this campaign. Look, if all you care about is politics, you might say, well, that's Machiavellian, that's quite clever, right? If you care about policy and you care about what they're actually going to do and what they mean, how can you support this party? And if you're a Latino, oh my God, they think you're such a sucker. They're running anti-immigration ads all over the country, demonizing you. They're coming over the Mexican border. You know, those Latinos. Don't worry about the Canadian border. They're fine. They're white. The Mexicans and Latinos are coming. Oh, you're a lot of Latinos in the state? Oh, ¿cómo está? Now, I'm going to show you the actual ads in a second. All right. In Kansas, where Hispanics account for 6% of eligible voters, the opposite scene is unfolding. The campaign of Senator Pat Roberts, a Republican, has been running an ad reminiscent of the infamous 1994 spot by Governor Pete Wilson of California that showed immigrants racing across a busy highway to enter the country illegally. Mr. Roberts' ad depicts 2 shadowy figures climbing a fence. Illegal immigration is threatening our communities and taking jobs away from Kansans who need them, the announcer says. You'll see some of those ads in a second. And finally, David Bossie, president of Citizens United, remember that's a real group, they're the ones that sued to be able to pour money into politics, and they won that infamous Supreme Court case, said the issue of immigration was resonating at the moment because of how it played into the broader notion that the government was failing on a number of fronts, from fighting the Islamic State to responding to Ebola. In other words, boo, be scared. Oh, ISIS, Ebola, immigrants. Those are the real problems. Income inequality is not a real problem, okay? Your minimum wage never being raised, that's not a real problem, okay? Wage theft by your employers, which is actually larger than all other theft in the country, not a problem. Incredibly low taxes on the rich that are disproportionately in favor of the rich, not a problem. Immigration, Ebola, ISIS. Now, we have the ads for you. You guys can make up your mind on your own. Now, all the scary ads are from the states where there are almost no Latinos, okay? the one ad from Jeb Bush is spliced in. That's in Colorado, where it's 14% Latino. Now get a load of the contrast. Watch.
Want to know why there's lawlessness on our border? Ask Senator Shaheen.
America is facing a border crisis. Illegal immigration is threatening our communities and taking jobs away from Kansans who need them.
Como ustedes, yo también quiero soluciones para nuestros grandes problemas.
She voted against border security twice.
Orman gave thousands of dollars to elect Barack Obama, even Harry Reid.
Que es vital elegir a líderes como Cory Gardner. Cory es un buen hombre.
And for amnesty.
Now Orman says he'd support giving amnesty to millions of illegal immigrants.
Cory apoya el espíritu trabajador y empresarial de la comunidad latina.
Who in their right mind would trust the Republicans?